What's better for weight loss? Intermittent fasting or reducing the number of calories you consume? And why would a psychiatrist be talking about this in the first place? Well, there's a correlation between the types of food one eats and psychological health, meaning the healthier one eats, the better their mental health is going to be as well. The more unhealthy one eats, like sugars, fats, processed foods, that's going to lead to more psychological problems and lead to more problems like anxiety, depression, etc. So weight loss is going to be important for both physical health and mental health as well. Intermittent fasting is basically just restricting the time that one eats food. So they can have basically whatever they want to eat, but they restrict the time. So for example, rather than eating from 24 hours a day, they may decrease it from like 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Or they may do it from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. or something like that along those lines. Compare this with caloric restriction, where one just consumes less calories in the day, because it's thought by consuming less calories, that's going to help with weight loss, because if you're burning more calories than you consume, that's going to lead to more weight loss than rather if you consume more calories than you burn, that's going to lead to more weight gain. So we'll go into the more metabolic stuff in detail about how each of these can thought to play a role on the body's physiological system and which one would be superior to weight loss. And this is going to be important because obesity is correlated with not only the psychological problems like anxiety, depression, but it can also be correlated with diabetes, heart disease, increased risk of cancer, sleep problems like sleep apnea. So overall, just losing weight can be a good, healthy thing. There's a study done over a 12-month span with adults, and they compared intermittent fasting with people that just reduced their caloric intake. And so the people reduced the caloric intake by 34%, or the people with intermittent fasting did that for 3 days of the week, and then 4 days of the week, they just were left to do eat whatever they wanted. But they were also tied to this weight loss program, like this behavioral weight loss program. So they were asked to do 300 minutes of aerobic exercise each week and probably got some education along the way about nutritional aspects, things like that. And they found that people who did the intermittent fasting, they're more likely to stick with the program. And they overall in the 12-month span, they lost more weight than the people with the caloric restriction. And the weight difference, they lost almost about 2.9 kilograms, or almost 6.5 to 7 pounds more than the other group. And so physiologically, there's a few reasons this may have taken place. So caloric restriction is thought to lead to weight loss by one, as I mentioned, creating an energy deficit where you're more likely going to burn more calories than you consume. And then also this is going to force the body to use other resources in the body for energy, such as the fat cells. On the other side, it can also burn down the muscle as well. So it can burn down proteins if it's not getting enough energy from the fat stores. And it's thought that just consuming less calories may actually slow down the metabolism, because the body's metabolism won't have to work as hard. On one hand, this may reduce some of the stress that the body goes through. It may slow down the aging that the body can experience, but it may make weight loss more difficult because the body's not going to be working as hard or burning as many calories. Compare this to intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting, there's a period of time where the body is not consuming any glucose. So it needs to rely that energy source from another molecule in the body. And so typically if one fasts for more than 12 hours, they get a lot of their energy from a fatty acid that's broken down into something called ketones. But if someone is fasting less than that amount, or fasting for just a few hours, they could get the molecule, or they can get the energy from glycogen, which can be stored often in the liver and not necessarily have the fat breakdown. And then overall, it's thought that even though people are intermittently fasting some days of the week and they eat normal the other days of the week, it's thought that maybe the days that they're eating normal, they still do not eat as much as they did before they did the intermittent fasting. So overall, in the week span, there is still this caloric reduction in what they consume. And then it's also thought that intermittent fasting can help with regulating insulin levels. Insulin is a hormone that is secreted by the pancreas that is important for storing energy and blood sugars into the tissues. And so this helps to regulate those insulin levels, and that's thought it could help promote fat loss as well. And then it's thought that intermittent fasting may help preserve muscle mass better than reducing calories, because the focus here is the ketones are going to be used for energy, and the ketones are going to be broken down from the fatty acid stores. So those are just some thoughts about fasting and how that can help with physical health and mental health and what is better. Interestingly, some of the Christian faiths has recommended fasting, and they often teach it according to guidance with spiritual father, even a medical provider if you have comorbid medical conditions, that fasting for a period of time, they abstain from food and drink for a while. And so this, in a way, is similar to intermittent fasting, because people will not eat till like maybe noon or 1 or 3 or 5 or whatever their body can handle. And so that sort of is going to coincide a little bit with what this intermittent fasting does. Also, some spiritual aspects about fasting is that it's thought that fasting is going to not necessarily get one to be angry, like this hanger stuff, but fasting was going to reveal what's inside somebody. So someone's not going to rely on food or drink to cover up their emotions or their feelings or their thoughts, but instead through fasting it's going to be revealed to the surface. And so it's an important process to help reveal what the state of one's souls is, what their thoughts are, to help them to bring that to their awareness and to fix it and to make it good and constructive for themselves and for others. And so fasting is an important principle, not only in physical health, but in spirituality as well. Yeah, hopefully you like this video, and be sure to like the video for more videos like this one, and subscribe to the channel, help support the channel.